gotten into me? Can anybody see? Oh, love's a crazy game. I don't know how to play to make you wanna stay. I'm too scared to say.
Since award season is just around the corner, I've seen people arguing about Big 3 privilege a lot lately. There may be some of you asking, what the hell is Big 3 privilege? So I thought I should make a video to explain and clear up some misconceptions. Big 3 privilege is a term people in the K-pop community use to refer to privileges some groups receive for being a part of a large company. In this case, it specifically refers to companies known as the Big 3, SM, YG, and JYP, because those companies have dominated the industry for some time now and are well known as the top 3. But what privileges? Some of you may be wondering. I'm glad you asked. For starters, groups from well-known companies are going to immediately gain more exposure than a group coming from a company that's just starting out. If they have well-known seniors, fans of those groups are more likely to check out new groups from their company. And of course, seniors often help promote debuting groups by posting about them on SNS, talking about them on variety shows, or even doing some sort of collaboration with them. On top of that, those same companies often have their hands in other parts of the entertainment industry, so idols from said companies are more likely to get CFs or cast in musicals, variety shows, and dramas, produced by their own company or otherwise. Plus, it's not uncommon for large companies to have to use their popular senior idols as leverage to get new groups on shows for exposure. For example, if a company wants their new group on a music program, they'll often have to offer up their more popular idols for variety shows or other programming on that same network. So, if your company is new and you don't have any big names to barter with, you might just be SOL. Which brings me to an even more obvious point: money and profit distribution. It's common sense that idols from these companies would have more privileges simply because their company has more money to spend. Companies who already have bigger groups have disposable income that can go towards training, promotion, wardrobe, and other products and projects involving their new idols. So, there seems to be some misconceptions floating around about Big 3 privilege. One of the main arguments I've seen is it's harder to get into a Big 3 company, so somehow that negates all the privileges you get as an idol from that company. The reason why it's so hard to get in is because they're so well known, everyone and their mom wants to audition. That's because, even if you are less likely to go through, the benefits you get if you make it are worth at least trying. And because so many people want to audition, those companies have to be picky about who they choose to spend time and money training. Logically though, the main reason so many people fail those auditions is because too many people audition in the first place. It's an inflated number. Debuting from a Big 3 company and having these privileges doesn't mean your favorite idols don't work hard. No one is saying that. I'd argue that every idol has to work hard if they even want the slightest bit of success, because the industry is so oversaturated now. Another thing I should point out is that just because a group is from a Big 3 company doesn't mean they're guaranteed success. There are a lot of different variables that go into the success of a group, so that depends on a lot of other factors. The difference being, if your company has more money to work with, they're going to be able to continue promoting you until they're happy with the money that you're bringing in. Smaller companies may only have enough money for the training period and debut, so if the group they debuted doesn't make a profit right away, they may not be able to keep funding said group, hence why websites like MakeStar exist. So just because you're from a big company doesn't mean you don't work hard, it just means you're more likely to be rewarded for your hard work. And contrary to the term itself, privileges aren't limited to the Big 3. The only reason the Big 3 are mentioned specifically is because they've had a stronghold of the industry for so long. Any group from a company that's large, has popular acts, and has a steady cash flow will experience at least some sort of privilege. Technically speaking, any group that debuts from Big Hit now will have some of these privileges. BTS came from an unknown company, and despite that, they gained popularity and recognition. That's a big deal because the competition is rough and it's hard to succeed in an industry where certain companies have always dominated. Now, because BTS has made enough money and has a reputation, any group debuting after them will have a higher chance of success. So, to recap, groups from large companies with successful seniors are going to have some obvious privileges. That's not limited to the Big 3. Those companies are just at the top, so they happen to be the best examples of those privileges. That doesn't mean groups from those companies don't work hard or that they're guaranteed success. It just means they're more likely to be rewarded for their hard work, and their company has the money to keep promoting them until they're happy with the outcome. I would also like to point out that many of the examples people use for Big 3 groups that quote unquote flopped are usually only seen as such by their company's standards. Comparatively, if those groups were from smaller companies and had those same numbers, they would be considered successful. So yeah, Big 3 privilege is a thing, and it's stupid that people try to argue that it's not. Feel free to yell at me in the comments. Thank you to everyone who made it to the end of this video, and please make sure to like and subscribe if you liked my long-ass explanation of something that should be mostly obvious and self-explanatory. I appreciate you. Don't forget to check out my Teespring where I get bored and sign cool shit, and if you haven't already, please hit the little bell icon to get notifications when I upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!